Welcome once again. Now that we have reached the third week, we'll actually try to find out what exactly is the need of open educational resources with respect to science education. We all know that science is a dynamic field. It is continuously evolving, and due to this continuous evolution of science, it keeps on adding current information, and this addition of current information actually is responsible for upgrading the existing knowledge. Science includes explanations as well as experimentation. Now, these explanations and experiments are carried out in closed classrooms with the help of books. Now, when these books are utilized, either they are too costly. Now, because of the cost involved in purchase of these books, there can be a reason that children may drop out from schools and colleges because they are not able to afford the books. However, an open educational resource can help in ruling out this problem, and it will ensure that there are no more dropouts. Now, specifically, when we talk about OERs in science education, we have to highlight the problem of experimentation. Now, experimentation becomes very difficult because many a times a student remains absent or has not actively participated in the experiment conducted in the school or college, and he misses a lot. Now, there are reasons that to carry out an experiment or repeating an experiment involves a lot of expense. So, institutions try to avoid it. Now, to overcome this problem, the best solution is to come out with an open educational resource. So, once a teacher or a developer makes an OER for the same experiment which a student may miss, it can be made available to the student in any format, maybe into form of an instruction or a protocol or maybe a video of an actual experiment being conducted, and then the same can be given to the students, and then the students can go through the video, understand the experiment, and later on they would be able to interpret the results which they have got from the experiment. So OERs definitely would help where experimentations in science is concerned. Another thing that an OER offers is flexibility. Now, this feature of OERs helps the learner to learn science and the related concepts from any part of the world at his or her time of convenience. Learner has actually the flexibility to choose an OER of his choice depending upon the topic that he/she wants to learn. Secondly, OERs also help in self-learning. The learner learns on its own. There is support from the teachers who runs the course. This makes the learning self-learning and make it possible for the learner to learn at his or her own pace. Now, as the content can be accessed n number of times, this makes OERs definitely a crucial learning aid for students who are slow learners as well as for those who need special requirements. Another need for OERs in science education is to actually improve learning ability. Now, when an OER is provided beforehand, a learner can learn from the OERs before going to the class in order to get the gist of the topic and can utilize it as many times during the time of examination. So, it actually helps a lot of learning capabilities of the student. Secondary thing is in order to have interdisciplinary knowledge. With the world coming closer day by day and people having urge to learn about new things and develop their skill, learners tend to participate in gaining interdisciplinary knowledge. So basically, interdisciplinary knowledge gain is actually a very important attribute with respect to science education. Another important need for OERs in science education is basically to improve quality. Now, as these resources are open and free with some licenses, they can be distributed. Still, they can be worked upon for their improvement. Now, this improvement can be done by any person who is expert in that particular field. Now, when this has to take place, people come together and it ensures a lot of collaborative work. People from different fields, different arena come together in order to improve an existing OER. Teachers who are away from each other come together and they give their inputs for development of OERs, and this all definitely helps in improving the quality of the OER material. And when this happens, all this ensures that a OER which is developed is world class and of international quality. We have also seen that OERs are actually innovative and interactive methods apart from normal day-to-day chalkboard method. Now this helps the learner to retain more information, and it also ensures that the learner can go back and revise as many times as he or she wants and at any given point of time. Now what will this help to? This will definitely help in improving the learner's understanding of the concepts, help in building up a knowledge which can definitely then be applied in their daily life. Now, actually, with science subjects, many a times the subjects are so complex that their explanations actually become a lot difficult by the traditional method. And because of all these problems, it actually acts as a precursor in developing an open educational resource which can actually be responsible or helpful in making otherwise a difficult topic easier. Let me quote an example here when it comes to explanation of amplification of DNA by PCR. I'm sure teachers of life sciences and allied fields will definitely know what is a PCR. Now, PCR is a machine which is used to carry out an experiment for basically for amplification of DNA. Now, however, this experimentation is very expensive. It requires a lot of expertise. So, if a teacher wants to teach this topic, at the most, a teacher can afford to teach it only once. So when machines are involved, if the expert remains absent when the students are there, or when students are absent and the expert is there, so it becomes difficult to repeat such an expensive experiments. So what can be done is an open educational resource, maybe into form of a video, can be developed, and this can be used, shared with the students as many times. So although who have missed the experiments will also have a chance to understand exactly what was done about that experiment. Also, many a times teachers tell the students to imagine, maybe with respect to certain experiments which actually cannot be done in a real scenario or even in a simulation form. Say for example, if a physics student wants to learn about the projection of rocket towards moon or any place from moon to Mars. Now for anybody to actually show this is absolutely impossible. But with the help of modern tools like augmented reality, one can create an OER which will give the feel and make the learner understand about the projection of rocket. Also, if the projection falls in the first go, there is also any second chance with OERs, and this second chance does not end. So it is like the student can try it as many times with that particular OER. Say it also with respect to experiments which are dangerous to carry out, maybe because of the associated effects to the environment. So such experiments can be developed into another OER form, and maybe that can help in reducing the impact of those particular experiments on the environment. From benefits of OERs for students, now how does it help the teachers? It definitely helps teachers as well as content creators. Now creators will receive instant feedback from the learners. There is a constant feedback given by learners with respect to the content that is projected onto the OER. At the same time, there is definitely global recognition. Once when one develops an OER and makes it available, it ensures global recognition. It also ensures that the number of learners increase from classroom and the global learner number increases. At the same time, because it is a creative field where one has to develop and continuously upgrade the OER or come out with something creative, it actually develops the creativity and enhances involvement of the creator. Apart from need of integrating OERs in science education and its benefit to students, content developers, or even teachers, it definitely has a benefit to educational institutions also. Institutions get world recognition, they get increased support to distance education as well as encourage lifelong learning, ensuring lifelong learning. All these things ensures that a good reputation of the institution is developed across world, because there's a lot of collaboration and tie up involved with different universities and educational institutions in developing an OER. It actually ensures that a world class curriculum gets developed, so it is like a win-win situation for all those who are involved in developing an open educational resource. So there is definitely a need for everybody to come together, giving their inputs, whether it is a learner end or whether it is a developer end or whether it is a supporter end, all have to come together so as to come out with world class material as open educational resources. Now that we know why there is a need for OERs in science education, in the coming video we'll be learning about different ways to integrate it in science education. Thank you.